back to Orlando Out of Context. I'm Brian.
I'm Stephanie.
Welcome, everyone.
Hey, girl. We were just talking about
the coronavirus.
I feel like I need a fucking drink. I have PTSD from this fucking woman at the damn nail shop. She was talking about the coronavirus from the minute her freaking foot hit the water until the minute this man polished her last pinky toe. And she was going on and on and on, but she started with the fact that she thinks that people in Orlando are not getting tested for coronavirus because they don't want anyone to say that Orlando has coronavirus, because then the tourism industry will be at risk.
Probably.
She said that.
The reason that
she was like, hospitals are refusing people to test.
Whatever. Yeah, because it's not. Yeah, whatever.
And I was so annoyed. Do you ever get those moments where you're in public and you just want to tell someone to shut the fuck up?
Of course.
Like, it was so annoying, and all the people in there were just not even saying anything to her.
They were just trying to get her.
They were just trying to get through their days quickly as possible and get her in and out. She even whipped out her phone. It was reading like, all right, this was 5 minutes ago posted. We have 5 cases, and we have one person who's in the hospital, and he's pending investigation. And I was like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
We're over it.
Well, your nails look nice.
Thanks. They do look nice. I'm pretty happy with them. But boy, what it took to get these puppies. It took every last bit of my patience that I had left for the day. But
thank God that's over.
We have a little Maj Podge, little quickie episode of just some stuff here in Orlando that we've been up to the past, last month, I guess. We're already in March. So, yeah. So, what do you want to start with? Boat tour?
You tell me.
Okay, let's start with the boat tour. So, last month, my friend Gina, my high school, middle school, lifelong friend, came down to visit. And we decided that we were going to go on the Winter Park Scenic boat tours.
Yes.
Which was something that we've been wanting to do for a really long time, but for some reason, we just been pushing it.
Well, we can't do it in the middle of summer.
Yes, that would be the pro tip here. You better run and get on that boat tour before it gets hot out.
We have one good weekend, at least that we know of, left, because this weekend it's going to be in the low 70s again. So this is a great weekend as you're listening to this. It's a great weekend to go and experience the boat tour, because it's a great value.
It's a hidden gem. Okay, it's $14 for adults, $7 for children, cash and check only. Checks or cash. And these people, they are real good at what they do. They were getting people in and out. They don't play no games. They weren't taking no funny business. They were taking the cash and getting you on the boat.
I thought
just how I like it.
When we pulled up, I thought, we're probably going to have to wait a while.
There was a lot of people there.
But we didn't really have to wait.
So it says that they do daily tours from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day except for Christmas. And they do them on the hour. But when we were there, it seemed like they had a few more boats running. And
on the hour must mean like...
at the very least.
Yeah.
At the minimum.
So at their lowest season, they must be doing every hour. But it seemed to me like they were doing it more like every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Is what it
because like. Remember when we were waiting to go through that canal, there were like 3 boats that passed us.
There was lots of tour boats out on the water. Yeah. I thought, maybe this, I didn't realize how big the operation was. I thought, maybe there'll be 1 or 2 boats that actually do it. But no, they have a little fleet of boats. And the ride was a full hour. It
was nice. It was relaxing.
So relaxing.
One pro tip that I would definitely say is to make sure you bring a hat with a bill, some sunglasses, and some SPF, and a hair tie, because I also forgot a hair tie, and my hair was like blowing everywhere. But
you're not in the shade for too much.
No. And they're pointing out things like the entire ride, like, across the way, that house and this house, and talking about the structure and the history of the houses.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe it's just me. I had LASIK done about 5 years ago, and my eyes are really sensitive to light. But when you're trying to look in the distance, it's like, it really helps if you have a little something over your like a bill for a hat so you can see without the sun like blinding you. But it was nice. I mean, this is an old thing too. I mean, it says it was established in 1938.
Yeah.
And
I didn't realize how old it was. That's a long time.
If you want to, this is a great opportunity if you want to have like a brunch, say at the Briar Patch or, any of these places there down there on the Strip and
on Park
Avenue, because it's just, I don't know what, maybe 3 or 4 blocks.
Yeah, you could walk
off Park Avenue.
You could walk from Park Avenue, no problem. Definitely, there would be no problem for anyone to walk down there.
So have brunch. Briar Patch is taking reservations now. Or any of the other places have a nice little brunch. Go get on that boat. And it's so cute. I really never knew there was like, I don't know. I didn't ever, honestly, I know this probably sounds stupid, but I had no idea there were houses that beautiful in Orlando.
Well, some
of these houses are freaking huge.
We are called the City Beautiful. And I think,
but we're not the city rich. I mean, I didn't know that people that rich lived here.
Well, yeah. You always say, "Oh, this city's not doesn't have enough people to support like the Audi and the Porsche and the Aston Martin."
I still stick to that.
But no, there's wealth here.
But there were a lot. I mean, they pointed out a lot of houses, a lot of which names I didn't know and stuff that I really didn't know. But a lot of it is more historical, and
they show you a house that Tom Hanks filmed a movie at. They show you the house where Fred Rogers, when he was in college, that he stayed at.
Oh yeah.
So there was a few names I recognized.
What's the college
Rollins.
over there? Rollins. They talked a little bit of Rollins history that I didn't know about. What else? I mean, it was just a beautiful. They take you through these like little canals, and you realize like there's homes that have like little teeny.
It reminded me of the Riverwalk a little bit.
Yes. If you've ever been to San Antonio, it did. It gave me that feel like you were super close. Like only one boat could fit through at a time.
Right.
And each house have like a little garage. Like you pull your car into the garage. These houses have little inlets where you can pull your boat.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was super cute. But they have little snacks there if you want to take a snack on the boat with you. Maybe you want to bring some water or something.
That's another pro tip. You could bring a snack with you on the boat.
Yeah, they let you eat.
I wouldn't bring a full-on
I mean,
picnic.
not a picnic, but
Yeah, but you could bring a snack.
A little protein bar, little chippies, something.
A drink.
Oh, but it was nice.
No, I would highly recommend it. And I think that it's a repeatable activity. Like you could do it again and again.
I'll definitely do it. I would love to take my parents if they can get here during a time when it's not hot. But I will never be doing this in the summer.
Yeah.
It would be not fun in the summer.
No, it would not be fun.
Because they did tell us why they don't have
they did?
overhangs.
I didn't hear that.
Because some of the parts where we went through the canals, there were overpasses.
Oh, that's right.
And honestly, if you were like pretty tall, if you stood up, you would hit your head.
Hit your head, yeah.
Or he said also, he talked about when the water rises and falls during our heavy rain seasons, then the boat is a little bit closer to that overpass. So the boat barely makes clearance without a little shaded thingy. So
yeah, definitely put this, if you haven't done it yet, go put it on the top of your list and go check it out.
So something else that I did while Gina was here that I've been wanting to do for all the years that I lived in Florida was to go see the manatees. Because, manatee season is November 15th through March 31st. And that's when, I guess, like the manatees kind of come more inland to the springs, because the spring water is always at like a 72, 73 degrees.
Right.
Regardless of the weather. So we went to Blue Springs State Park. And we didn't see... It wasn't exactly how I hoped it would be, because basically you just stand along the coastline and there's little...
I don't know what were you expecting?
Well, I just thought they would...
Jump out of the water?
Yeah, I guess I was expecting like a full-on Shamu show, like spitting water at me and rolling, and I don't know what I expected, honestly, but
Well, it's in nature.
yes.
So it's real life nature.
Yes. But the
But
thing
you saw
is,
a lot of them, though, right?
yeah, we saw a good bit.
Well, the funny thing is, I helped produce. I was a producer on this trip because when I was looking at the website for them, because you were trying to figure out where you were going to go.
Yeah, because we were thinking about going somewhere like that was about 2 hours away, and then luckily you found this spot that was about
I
an
had
hour.
been there before.
To Blue Springs Park?
Yeah, I had been there before. But what I didn't realize is that you can call and get a count.
Yes.
So I called the night before and got a count and relayed that over to you. And then you text me the next morning saying that the count was lower. Yeah, the next morning
it was already lower. It was about 100. I think when you called it was like 243. When we called it was about 188. And then today I called again because I wanted to get a manatee count now a month later, but nobody picked up the phone. So I guess they're done. But they have platforms along the river that kind of just jet out a little bit. Yeah, like little boardwalks. And so you can kind of view from there. But the problem is the manatees don't come to that side. They were kind of more further because that's where the sun was. Mm-hmm. And we did see a mama and a little baby swimming next to each other. We'll post that video. And then if you go here during like normal time, like not the manatee season, along the boardwalk there are also stairway entries into the water where people do snorkeling, swimming, paddle boarding, kayaking. It's a beautiful place to do all those things.
You just can't do it while the manatees are there, right?
It's just because of the manatees and the preservation efforts. They close and block all those entryways during the manatee season.
Got it.
While we were there was a kayak with 2 people, and they were like, actually another thing was they had along each little entryway, they had like a volunteer who was pretty knowledgeable about, manatees, what's going on during this time, how they're trying to preserve them, and all these things. And she was telling us that the people in that kayak are actually the ones who are getting these supposed manatee count numbers. And she said that they know all the manatees just by like markings that they have or scars. Wow. Or just like the way they look. And she had said this guy had been doing it for a long time, like maybe over 20 years. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Was there a fee to park there or anything?
It was just, I think, $6 entry per car.
Got it.
So, and that's about, for all state parks, that's pretty standard, I think.
Right.
They just charge you per car, and then they have picnic areas. It's nice if you bring a picnic. They also had a little store where they had a little restaurant/store.
I think for me, it's nice to go, and I went once, but I don't necessarily have to.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Go back.
I'm done. Yeah. Well, we do have Wekiva here in Orlando, which is, I don't know that Wekiva is considered Orlando, but it's not very far from Orlando. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to Wekiva?
No.
It's the same thing. It's the natural springs. It's blue water, same temperature all year round, crystal clear. So you can kind of get the same thing there. I don't know about the manatees and Wekiva, though. I'm not really sure. But do you like to kayak?
I haven't been.
It's nice. I like it.
I remember you did the giraffe kayak.
Yes, I want to do that again too. I would definitely do that again. I think if my sister comes to visit, I'll take her. She likes the zoo. But I also want to do the get up and go kayaking. They have those glass bottom boats. Yeah. And they have the kayaking at night with the bioluminescence. I
hear it's hard to get a reservation on those. Like the reservations go really quickly for the bioluminescent. But
then also somebody had brought up to me like, do you really want to go in the water in the dark in Florida? What if a gator attacks us? Then it's my day, I think it's my time.
I think it's a little bit more for me too.
And I think about bugs
like the mosquitoes.
Bugs eat me alive during the daytime, so who knows what would happen at night. But I don't know. It's something to think about. And then, let's see. Another thing that we did was Bok Tower Gardens, which you and I went to.
Oh, probably almost
well
10
over
years
10
ago.
years ago.
Jeez.
And let me tell you that this experience was a whole different experience than the one we had. I feel like
our experience wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad at all. But I feel like maybe 10 years ago I didn't give a shit, or maybe I just was there to look. Like, I don't remember. I feel like this time I learned a lot about what it actually is. Like, when we went, I remember like thinking, oh, this is pretty. Oh, this is nice. But not really like absorbing any kind of information as to what it actually was. But they've also done, she said they did like a multi-million-dollar like renovation in the past, I don't know, 5-8 years, she said. We went on like a little walking tour. And this is another place where they have a lot of people who are like volunteering. It seems like a lot of retired people who are like really into it, really knowledgeable about it. Right. You know, have a lot of interest in the thing that they're talking about, whether it's manatees or the Bok Tower Gardens. So Bok Tower Gardens is not in Orlando, it's in Lake Wales, but it's a nice day trip. It's kind of like out where Legoland is. It's like like 45 minutes, an hour from Orlando. It's actually on the National Register of Historic Places, which I didn't know. And it's on one of Florida's highest points in the peninsula, which is the saddest thing while you're up there, because you're like, well, damn, this looks nice, but it ain't that high. Like, if this is the highest that I can get in this whole peninsula, that's like the saddest thing. But they participate in like a rare plant preservation project. So in Florida, there's a lot of building that's been happening here. We had also spoke about maybe digging into some history of Florida. Like the boat tour kind of spiked our interest about the old history of Orlando and Florida as a state. Because Florida, used to be basically nothing until Disney came and kind of like blew it up, per se, from the middle outwards, So what they do is they participate in this program where when they are building like large developments, they'll work with the developer and they will go ahead and harvest like plants that are going to be bulldozed, and they like take the seeds and they like do all this stuff and they send them to like a place and they catalog them and they help to like grow them more so that they don't go extinct from all the building that's being done here,
Interesting.
They also hold 64 of Florida's rarest plants housed there that you can actually see. They're like part of the gardens. You can walk around. But basically the biggest part of this is the tower, the Bok Tower that stands atop of the garden, and it holds a 60-bell carillon. So a carillon is like an instrument. Okay. It's like its own instrument. See, all this stuff. Do you remember any of this stuff?
Vaguely, but not very.
Like, okay,
strongly.
So the bells, they don't move. They're just like stationary. And so when you hear music from this tower, it's an actual person playing music. And it's kind of looks, I don't want to say this because I know the people that play it would get angry probably, but it's kind of like on the lines of like, what do you hear at church? Like an organ. How it's like has a lot of keys and there's some foot pedals involved. So when he or she is manipulating these keys, it's just manipulating the thing that hits the bell. It doesn't move the bell. So to be considered a carillon, it has to be 23 bells or more. And this particular one here has 60 bells.
Wow.
And, nationwide, we have approximately 600 of these worldwide.
Okay.
A carillon. And the people that play them are called carillonneurs.
Wow, you really learned a lot.
I did.
You are bringing a full book report.
I mean, it's so interested me. And this is only just a few points because I didn't want to lay it all out there. There's so much more to discover. But this is just a few teasers for your visit. Yeah, it just interested me.
So did you hear? I
didn't even know that when we went there. In my mind, 10 some years ago, when I was just like some little, we would have been like 25, 24, 23 years old. I didn't even give a shit, probably. I was just like, oh, that's pretty. I just probably in my mind thought it was like a recording.
What I don't remember is, did we hear it when we were there the first time?
Yeah, I don't even remember if we heard it or not.
I remember walking around, looking out on the point, the highest point or whatever.
He's doing quotation marks, the highest point.
And then the tour of the house, because they do a Christmas tour there.
Yeah, we opted out of doing that tour this time. Just because
it wouldn't have been decorated,
we didn't really
right?
want to do it. Yeah, it wasn't decorated when we were there.
But they have a house. They have
They have like an on-property mansion.
So why was the tower built? Just to how, and who built it? Do you know all that?
Well, that was the part that I was going to leave for everyone else to figure out. Basically, the man, it's a kind of a story similar to, Walt Disney, where it's like this man had nothing, kind of, he wanted to build all this stuff, and he had this motto that like you leave the world like greater than you found it, or leave some, I don't remember.
So he left the Bok Tower.
Yes, he left the Bok Tower Gardens.
It is pretty.
As part of.
It's very pretty.
And it's beautiful.
It's in a like an Art Deco style or Art Nouveau style.
Yeah, I forget. I read, it said something. I was reading the Wikipedia page and I forget exactly the wording that it said. Something along the lines of like gargoyles. Like, what would a word be for that? Like, yeah.
Gothic.
Yeah, it said that on the Wikipedia page.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's pro tip for this place is to bring a whole picnic, a full out picnic, some blankets, like some drink, and you could sit there on the lawn just, for hours, just relaxing and eating cheese and wine and food, or if you have kids, they roll around in the grass. But it just was so nice, especially that day. This is another place that you want to go when it's cool out, because when we were up there, it was just like breezy and it was just so tranquil.
Up there so high.
Oh yeah, up there so high. There's very few places in Orlando that you can go that are literally tranquil, like where you don't hear any cars, you don't freaking hear any people. It's breezy and like this. It's just beautiful. It was a really, really. It's just a really nice spot.
Well, that's nice.
It's a really nice day trip. That's another place where you pay, like what you pay when you go in, and you can either pay for just like an entry, and then if you want to tour the mansion, that's an additional amount of money. But yeah, definitely check that out. Oh, and part of their expansion that they did was, I guess, building more pathways up to the tower to make it ADA accessible. Mm-hmm. And they also built like a big playground for children. So if you have kids, it's like one of those places where they're just like, you just let them loose and they have the ropes and swings and all kinds of stuff. We didn't look at it or go over in that area, but apparently it's a big hit, said our tour guide.
Well, it sounds like you had a really nice time at Bok Tower.
We did. We had a really nice time overall. She was here for about 5 days, and, I try to, like, do some relaxation with some Florida fun. We didn't do any parks or anything like that, so.
The parks have been so crowded.
Yeah, too crowded.
Way too crowded.
I went last week. Well, what was the day after? What was the last holiday? President's Day? Mm-hmm. Went the day after President's Day, and it was like insane at Magic Kingdom. Like, we rode the people mover after waiting for like 20 minutes and then pieced out.
Yeah.
I'm like, forget it. I'm not waiting in line for anything here.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
It's really best just for people watching at this point. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experiences, bringing your knowledge that you learned.
My book reports.
Your book reports.
But no, seriously, get out of here. It's a hidden gem, man. Really, it's a hidden gem. If you want like a nice, relaxing day with the, you know.
Well, that's what Orlando Out of Context is all about. So, we're standing here from the perspective of having lived in the attractions area for the last 10 or 15 years and looking at what Orlando has outside of what the rest of the world puts it in. And that's in the, the Disney bubble. So it's so much more than that.
Much more than that.
These are just 3 examples of things that you can do. Sometimes we get a little food heavy on this podcast. So these are 3 activities that you can
fun things
that you can do that will take you away from, the average park day. So that's awesome. Yeah, I think all 3 activities are great. They're great winter activities because this is the perfect season.
Oh,
for it.
Yes. Oh, we've been trying to get out and do all the things lately because it's so nice. The weather's
so
nice. But another thing, I know I'm beating the Bok Tower Garden into the ground, but you just want to keep an eye on it because they also have like different things. Like during Christmas, they had Christmas concerts. Mm-hmm. So on their schedule, they have different carolineurs that come from all over the world because they're like the people that do this, that's their main job, and they want to experience all of, all the ones that are available to play. And this seems to be, from what I was going through all the Wikipedia page of how many there are, I mean, this is kind of like one of the nicer ones, one of the top ones. So they have different feature carolineurs. And, like they play for whatever the holiday is.
Right.
So I think it would be really beautiful to listen to Christmas music on there.
And I think when we were there, it was Christmas time, and I'm sure they did a Christmas thing, and we probably didn't stay for it or cared about it.
At that point. I mean, we weren't that deep into our old age yet. Now I'm fully embracing my elderliness, and, I can get excited over...
The carolineurs.
So trivial. I think I'm just more excited that it's like an instrument. I never knew that it was like a true instrument. I'm just thinking it's like, one of these church bell towers or something, but this is like an actual instrument.
Yeah, that's cool.
But they have like when you first walk in like a center, so you can watch, they have like an intro video that will give you the history of the man who built the place, why he built it, the whole thing. Take you through that. And then you can go on your journey of exploration. Cool. But yeah, they don't search your packages or anything. So, you can bring some wine or any food that you want.
All the things.
Stroller, wagon, wheelchair, ECV.
Well, thank you guys so much.
So get out there and explore until it gets
hot.
And then we have to retreat to the inside.
Yep. It's almost that time.
It is.
But we have at least one more good weekend, so go out and take advantage of it. And until next time, guys, bye. Follow us on Instagram at Orlando Out of Context. Instagram is where you can connect and interact with us, as well as see photos and videos related to this week's episode.
Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. Testing. That's your big 10-4, big buddy.